everyone. It's the All Seeing Eye here. This is rolling stock, and I'm gonna show you guys all the cool stuff I've made. Uh, and show off some of the mods that I've gotten here. So this is one of them. It's the Odyssey class steam locomotive. Um, it takes electricity from power lines and uses it to power itself. And it's a pretty neat looking train. It's incredibly, it's quite the large engine. But I'm pretty sure it's bigger than the big boy, which I do have. So I'm gonna show that off. Um, let's see here. Let's go through, and here we are. Um, I got a lot of mods. Let's see here. Let's do the black rims for the big boy. Get rid of these. They're just there for looks. Um, let's see here. Get the Odyssey class to back up a bit. Okay. And then let's see if I can get the tender for it. That's the Challenger tender. Let's see here. I got it. Okay, so a question I have for a number of people is who has expertise in 3D modeling? Because this game allows to use 3D maps and you can build tracks in them and stuff like that. And what I want to do is I want to make a map. I want like the terrain of Fallout New Vegas, and then I want to build stuff on it. So then you know I can say, hey, look, it's Fallout New Vegas, but with trains. Anyways, yes, this is an M1 Abrams. Um, Given that it's a tank channel, I have a tank. So let's run over here. And yeah, the Union Pacific Big Boy is actually smaller than the Odyssey class steam electric locomotive. But yeah, pretty impressive. For some reason, they're not numbered. Anyways, so let's move over to here. My first creation. I got this idea when I was playing Transportation Simulator 2, whatever the name is. Um, and the idea was because there was a shallow beach on this map that I was doing on this little tiny island, and I put my HQ there, and I wanted to put some track there and put a train on it, but I couldn't. But luckily, this game allowed me to. I would have put the big boy, but the big boy was a bit too big, so I put a New York Tri-Class T1 on there. Um, Built a private dock here, so we got water and everything. Come up the stairs and along this little bridge, which I carefully put together. This nice stone path up to the house. Um, and then there we have our triplex locomotive, Pennsylvania, I should say from the Pennsylvania Railroad. And yeah, it's just kind of sitting here um, amongst everything else I've got on this island. And there's a little wind turbine up there. We run along over here. I don't think I put a ladder over here. No. But yeah. Okay. And then we zoom out and come over here. This was the nuclear power plant that I built. As we can see, we've got a rail yard for all sorts of little stuff. We get the standard Union Pacific diesel locomotive, a little shunter here, and then we have a oh, what is this? This is another Pennsylvania Railroad steam locomotive. I don't remember which one this is from the mod packs. But this one's got some cargo in it and a couple of passenger cars. And the idea was is these carts are going to be coolant, and then you have your other reactor stuff. We have our unloading dock right here with a bunch of yellow barrels. Some shipping containers back here. This is our main plant right here. Um, and then we've got the little communist yellow star. Because I mean, like I could have done it as anything, but I did as that. And we got our cooling towers, which were incredibly difficult to do because these little nodes that produce, the effects, and you kind of got to situate it in there just right so it doesn't look too weird. Um, and then here's a little motel for workers and stuff like that. Um, you got cars and all that. You got a little pathway. This took me quite a while to build. Um, and then, of course, we have the American, I believe it's a B-29 bomber dropping an atomic bomb onto the power plant. I know it's a bit, low to the ground for that, but this game isn't. This wasn't made for realism, because like, look how tiny the bomb is and how horribly shaped it is, and look how I jumped down and I'm still alive. These signal switches don't work, but the idea was is that they tell the train drivers when to go and stop. So, for example, this one's at a red, so this guy can't go, and that one's at a green, so this guy can roll along, and so on. Here's a control tower, switches. I should have updated the switches. Let's see here. I'll probably do that after this. And then let's move on to my other project that I had done, which was an idea I also had from Transportation 2 or whatever it's called. The idea was that you had a set of railroad tracks running down, between, a road line. So, like, cars could drive down this, but so could, trains. So I just put some train tracks down after I put some road down and I adjusted them. And now we've got this cool, let's see here, was it the Southern Pacific Line's Sunset locomotive right down between these. Um, so yeah, and then we got the simple power lines, which took me quite a bit to figure out. A military Humvee, some semi trucks, and then we've got a little off depot here, which has got all sorts of roadside needed equipment, and a little crane here as well. And we can actually go in person and take a look at this. Um, so yeah, this is what it all looks like in person. It's the Daylight. Goodness, it's Daylight locomotive. The roads are a bit messy. They're not perfect, and that's because the game has got a bit of a screwy system with the roads. Otherwise, I tried to make it look as good as possible. I hope that's not levitating. But yeah, then we got this. And it's just a simple crossway and some tracks and pipes. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And then, that's supposed to just show skyline and it's supposed to continue on. Let's see here, there's that, and then let's come over to an idea my mom gave me. So my mom suggested some kind of trainway on top of buildings to get you from one place to another, and I thought that was pretty cool. So we have, some buildings on top, a little watchtower of sorts that drives beneath. I didn't put a lot of detail into that because that wasn't really the important part. But you got all sorts of little stuff, and you come up here, and it's a diesel locomotive, um, standard in the game. What they got? And yeah, so we got a single passenger car, and then I believe this is a baggage car. Just to add some extra flavor, some water towers. So per se, this is the pickup. You know, you'd sit here, and the train would come along, and then you'd be able to climb up into the you'd be able to get in here, you know, from any of the buildings that you work at, and then just go along. And there's this nice little garden here too. Um, yeah. So then we come along to here. This was the final. This is the one of the few. I don't know what I'm saying. This one was supposed to be like underground inside of a giant cave. I didn't, fully put all this stone over because that this wall alone took me a lot of time, and it was difficult to do to get even it to look nice, because you have to keep it also out of here, so the trains can get in and out. I put it down some switch lights, a little shed here, and a power station for all this, little hotel. Um, I'm not sure which locomotive I put in here. I think this is a 4014, a 4884 locomotive. Got some gravel cars in there, and then another locomotive up here. Um, yeah, this one took me quite a while to do, but I'm proud of it. Um, yeah. There's a little house down here in a shipping container. Okay, and then we move all the way over here. This is my World War II map that I made. So we have our train here. It's just a little steam locomotive running through some rural places out in Europe. There's a little switch there, and sorry, not a switch, a sign there. Whatever they call them. Yeah, I could have put a bit more detail into it, but this stuff is difficult enough as is. So we have some kind of farm place, and then we come down here and we got some Sherman tanks fighting some German tanks. I think they're 3Js or something, like 4Js probably. Um, mm. The Germans have defeated one of the Shermans, but the Americans have defeated one of the Shermans. One of the Panzers. You know, a nice little battle scene. Two convoys running into each other, and then we got some bombs here from the Spitfire that was bombing the enemy lines. These are gonna blow up. Yeah, it's not super realistic, but I wanted to go out there and throw a few bombs in there for some damage. Um, and then this I used some smoke effects and then some grass and recolored it to make it look like some kind of explosion had happened, or there's a fire. Got the tank top there, tank turret, and then we got some power lines here, which were a pain to do, but I did them regardless. Yeah. So obviously there would be some snapped lines. I can't really do snapped lines that well because the game is a bit of a pain to do with some details. But this one, since it's closer, I was able to attach that there and along with those other ones, so that Panzer ran into that, and then because of the things getting yanked around and hit by stuff, uh, they moved all over the place. And I thought it was pretty cool. And then let's see here, what else? This was supposed to be my rural idea, a much larger map. Um, the river is taking me a while. But I got a simple, because I wanted to do a simple bridge and stuff like that. And the uphill was kind of difficult to do, but I did it, and it doesn't look too bad. And then here's a bit of a highway going through it. And then we've got our little locomotive. at the grain silo. We've even got a semi truck here, and here's a farmer's field. I'm probably going to try to do a couple more of these. The difficulty with this one is that, well, you can't like custom fit them, and trying to do the square roadways doesn't really work. I know because as somebody who lives in the Midwest, I know that they don't box around the farms and roads, but I do know that they do a grid pattern of squares. Anyways, and then here's a water pump, and I did some piping down to here. And these grates, like I could slap the grates on, but getting the black so they look like they led to places took me a bit. It was a bit difficult. This seems to be okay. Never mind. Um, a little internet tower here, and I was gonna add some more. I was probably gonna add a bunch more fields, um, maybe a few small homes. And yeah, that's about it. Um, and then we'll put it on tonight to show what it looks like during nighttime. These models and stuff. Let's see here. Time of day. Freeze mother. What? Let's see here. Midnight. So you come down at midnight and we take a look at this. It's all lit up and it looks kind of like some kind of mining operation almost. Which actually brings me to an idea of what I should do next for one of my little projects. Is have a little mining town. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty cool. Pretty all details and stuff. There's no actual like set of stairs to get up to the to this upper part. I suppose because you're not really supposed to get up here, but you can. I'm not actually climbing a ladder. I'm just rolling my mouse. Yeah, yeah. Here's some watchtowers or whatever, and then some lights. My plan was to get these to attach to a wire thing here and run through, but this does not like attaching into certain ways, and yeah, and then that's why these just end off. We got our city, which is all dark and stuff. I never really put any lights in here. That doesn't really have any lights. Neither does this place. But the power plant does have lights. I put all sorts of lights around here, so you can come along and drive your Subaru or whatever. And get your little star over there, and then I didn't know these had switches until recently. But yeah, and then we've got a parking lot and everything, dumpster. So yeah. I think that concludes just about everything. I just wanted to show this off because I've played this by myself. And, I figured I might as well show it off to somebody. But yeah. I'm probably going to make a bunch more and then show those off later on. This Midwestern IDA is pretty good, but at the same time, I don't entirely like it the most because it was a flawed attempt. Because I mean, as you can see, there's this issue here, and that's because of the river and stuff like that. But I think I did pretty good with this, filling in most of the gaps. Look better than some of my other works. This is the first time doing something like this. I think what I'll do is at some point I might make a waterfall. Something like Tomb Raider, where they've got a waterfall and then that plane on the top. Only it's like like kind of brokenish bridge, and then it's got a train across the top of sorts, and some falling cars into the river. And I think that would be pretty cool. Um, so yeah, and that pretty much concludes everything for the video. Not really much to say.